Recently, there has been a massive talking point around these large streamers being able to ban people out of a game by one report getting them kicked out of a game. There has been a recent podcast which is on Repools Live, and they were actually chatting about this little situation about people being reported in the game and being kicked instantly. It was actually J-God on the podcast who brought it up. Now, J-God's talking about there being some sort of trust factor in amongst, I don't know, like a sort of algorithm built up around whether or not you can be trusted to report people, and that's obviously just speculation at this point. Well, at least it feels that way. But Diaz Biffle did drop a comment in the chat of this podcast while they were talking about it, which could actually lead to some answers. Let's take a look at that now. So this is the podcast here. We spoke to Warzone employees, right? So if they were speaking to Warzone employees, then maybe they were able to get some of the answers to what I said might be speculation, and that might not actually be as speculative as I thought. But let's take a listen at what they had to say. We're starting at the 1 hour 43 minute mark now, so let's go.
It's just those never-ending wars where they get better bullets, they get better armor, better bullets, better armor. It's just non-stop.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. Again, I'm not gonna dwell on this too much. It will be the thing that kills ranked, but I'm hoping they can figure something out. Obviously, from Verdansk to now, it's definitely way better. But if we saw ranked in multiplayer, and if that tells us anything, ranked in multiplayer right now is down fucking.
But you know what's weird is I feel like the ranked in multiplayer and versus just like regular pubs, I've watched so many streams where people actually run into a cheater, they report him, and that dude disappears,
I do that. It
disintegrated.
happens all the time. I think that's
But that doesn't happen in multiplayer, so I don't know if there's different rule set. But I would imagine, like, if people are legitimately reporting, maybe you have a trust factor on reporting. Like, oh, you report people, they end up turning out to be a cheater. Like, how much they value. I don't know. Maybe there's a hidden report MMR. I don't know.
So this is what I'm saying. That's the moment J-God starts touching on how it happens in Warzone, but not in multiplayer, that you can report someone and have them kicked. But I can tell you now that I have reported so many people in the game who are blatantly cheating, and for some reason, they don't get insta-kicked. But when you watch a large streamer and they report someone, they do get kicked every single time. And this is actually the thing that's caused the debate as to whether or not the large streamers, like your J-Gods, your Repules, your Joe-Woes, and so many more, right? Whether or not they have like some sort of ban hammer, like they have these whitelisted, trusted accounts that are able to get people kicked out the game, whether they are cheating or not. That is a big question mark over this at the moment. And the reason there is always a question mark over these subjects is because Activision are never like public, they're never honest about what's actually going on in the background, which is crazy if you ask me. I mean, listen, they actually invite these creators into like a behind a closed door meeting. They've done it multiple times to discuss features of their game. And if you remember, J-God actually done a video about the whitelist in the past because questions were asked behind closed doors, and he was stating in his video about the whitelist all the things that we'd been saying for like 2 years at that point, right? So these things are happening, but what it does, it leaves the community, it leaves all the casual players, all the so-called pro players talking about these subjects, which is in effect promoting their game. So why would they just come out and be honest about it? I don't like the sales tactics, I don't like the promotion tactics, but it's definitely the way. Now listen, after J-God's mentioned this, Repul says that he's able to get people banned out or kicked out the game from reporting them. But it's what Diaz Biffle comes in the chat and says in a second that really struck a nerve.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. But because I've seen it like multiple, because I usually have multiple tabs up, and that's almost what happens inevitably.
Yeah, Diaz said we have the
so you can see that there, yeah? We got the Thanos. Shh. It's right above my camera.
Thanos snap, bro. But
Yeah.
I think the
So even Repules just said, Diaz said we got the Vanos SHIT, right? So this is that sort of mentality that a lot of people seem to believe that it's only the large streamers who are able to report these guys. You've even got Almond in the chat saying, I Thanos snapped the cheetah like 2 days ago when I reported him. So how many casual players have got this power? This is the question that needs answering, right? So many people out there wondering why a large streamer can get a cheetah kicked And what it does, it causes confusion. If you watch a streamer, right, your favorite streamer is able to get somebody insta-kicked out of a game for what they believe is cheating based off a kill cam, which at the moment is glitched and bugged. And then that casual player goes into a game and they see a rage hacker. This rage hacker is running around on 60 kills, snapping onto targets through walls, wall hacking their ass off, right? They're trying to report them and it's not kicking them out the game. So what that can do is cause confusion as to whether or not that rage hacker is cheating, because if they were cheating, surely they would get kicked out the game after being reported for cheating. Especially when the clip they saw their favourite streamer report was nowhere near as blatant cheating. So there's a lot of confusion in the scene at the moment due to this new feature, if it is a feature that's going to be public, to get people kicked out of the game if they are cheating. It seems that only the larger streamers have this higher power at the moment. Now we have skipped forward a little bit to another point that I really want to touch on, is them talking about people who've been permanently banned in the game. JGod seems to think that people who've been permabanned should be permabanned on any account. They shouldn't be allowed to make another account. And I can tell you that I actually agree with him. I believe there are multiple streamers out there who have had permabans and they are still able to continue to flourish and grow as a streamer whilst entering into Activision's own tournaments like the World Series of Warzone. Now, yeah, I will name drop. We're talking 5x5x, we're talking Magnificent, we're talking Nadia, we're talking Torve, we're talking many other streamers, right? There are so many out there, loads of whom have over 100,000 or 200,000 followers on their main platforms, and they have been permabanned in the past but still allowed to stream. So let's listen to what JGod and the others have to say.
Disappeared when it got to the ranked play, like the actual like custom tournament, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope somebody's doing that, but if not, then I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything that we missed, boys? Is there anything? I think we went over literally everything that I think you guys are all looking at your text, huh? Oh, bro.
I have no insider knowledge, and I'm still just, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo,
so.
but I'm seeing names of people who qualled that I know cheated. This has to be manually reviewed. I'm seeing names of people that qualled that, like, if you cheated ever.
Yeah, I think if you're permabanned, you should never be able to have another account. That's just ban evasion.
Like,
Personally, if you've ever had an account banned, you should be permabanned forever. Like, no new accounts. That's ban evasion. That's ban evasion. I think in general, for anyone.
Yeah.
But it sucks too, because think about the people that could have actually like qualified, those people that could still be cheating on a low-key walls or something.
So we'll cut it off there because Joe just goes rambling and goes, I don't know. He doesn't understand what he's saying. But talking about ban evasion, that's exactly what it is when you create a new account. But one thing that really should be stated is that there are people who are able to create new accounts, right, and continue on. But when that account gets permabanned, if you have an account permabanned for cheating, you've got cheats on your PC and you are banned, you're playing Warzone 1, for example, right? You are permabanned in Warzone 1 and Modern Warfare 2019 because those games are directly linked. So what happens then when Cold War came out? Well, you are able to play Cold War on that permabanned account. What about Vanguard? Same applies. You can still play Vanguard on that permabanned account. What about Modern Warfare 2? Well, guess what, guys? You can play on that permabanned account. Same with Warzone 2. Now, this is something I think that needs to be added in. It's simple. If you are permabanned on an account, that account remains permabanned no matter what new titles come out, and it should also be permabanned on all Call of Duties going way back to history, and that should be the case, but it's not. And I think there's a hidden reason behind that, is because what happens is when it comes to play accounts, when it comes to a new game, they don't necessarily have to have the accounts played on that game. But if an account exists for Warzone 2, then guess what? They can add that metric into their overall analytics to make it seem like they have a higher player count, like they have a higher overall account base. Because guess what? That account that was permabanned on Warzone 1 is actually not permabanned on Warzone 2. Let that sink in. They could be padding stats with all of these old permabanned accounts that were permabanned on an older game. What do you think? But I do think J-God's hit the nail on the head though. All permabanned accounts should not be able to do these ban evasions. They should be permabanned on any account created. And I'm sure Activision probably want that too, right? Maybe not. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. So we've got the Thanos ban hammer, which Diaz Biffle seems to be happy about, as well as Almond in the chat, and even Rapool said he's been able to do it, and we've seen multiple other streamers being able to do it against people in games. So the question is, are these ban hammers linked to whitelisted accounts, or is it the trust factor that J-God was talking about? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and if you did enjoy today's video guys, smash that thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss our future uploads. And one last thing before we go. Do you ever feel like life is just too overwhelming? That your anxiety is holding you back from being your best self? Introducing Supreme CBD, the all-natural CBD solution to help you find your balance. With Supreme CBD, you can experience the benefits of CBD without the psychoactive effects of THC. Supreme CBD's formula is designed to help you reduce stress and anxiety, improve focus, and promote overall wellness. And the best part, Supreme CBD is made with only the highest quality organic ingredients, so you can feel confident in what you're putting into your body. It's time to take control of your life and find your balance with Supreme CBD. You can order now and experience the difference for yourself. And don't forget to use code BBB40 at checkout for 40% off.